Sponsorem programu jest PKN Orlen.
Good day to you. My name is Maria Kądzielska and you are watching Poland Daily Culture, the best cultural show in English in Poland. And with us in the studio is Daniel Wyszogrodzki, a translator of musicals, an expert in musicals as well, a journalist, so I would say a man of many talents. But you are right now the author of the lyrics to the musical Copernicus, which is on show in Krakow. And we are talking about the story, how this famous Pole, who is after all known all around the world for stopping the sun and moving the earth, but we don't know really him as a human being. And you're trying in the musical to show him that he was a person with his passions, with his weaknesses, but with also many other interests than only astronomist. But going back to the topic of the book, so the Revolutionibus, his famous publication which changed the world. You mentioned the historical figures which you picturized in the musical, which are crucial for the understanding of the story. And those people were?
Those people were his maternal uncle, Lukas Walcenrode, who was Prince Bishop of Warmia. He actually financed all his education. He wanted Nikolai Copernicus to replace him as the Bishop of Warmia, but Copernicus was not interested. He rather devoted his time to his scientific research. And the second person was the future Bishop of Warmia, Jan Dantyszek, Johannes Dantiscus, who was a student friend of Copernicus. He would not accept Copernicus of having an affair with his innkeeper, with his housekeeper living in, but he really wanted him to devote his time to the scientific work because Dantyszek really believed Copernicus was a genius and he wanted him to complete his work during his lifetime. And the third very important figure is Hereticus, who was a German astronomer, a young man fascinated with Copernicus, who traveled on foot from Germany to Frombork to join Copernicus and actually to push him, to force him into finishing his work. Copernicus wasn't ready. I wouldn't say he was not motivated to finish it during his life, but he was kind of tired. He was an older man at the time. Heretic was very enthusiastic about it. He gave him the energy, the motivation, and he really watched Copernicus complete his work. Also, Heretic was the person who took his work back to Germany, to Wittenberg and to Nuremberg, and looking for the printer. So it was printed, and there's a legend that says that Copernicus, while on his dying bed, was handed his first edition of his book. And then he saw it, and then he died. Well, we have no proof for that, but it makes a perfect ending for the musical.
Absolutely.
I know you're a person who loves musical theater, so you know it works on stage very well.
Absolutely.
So we show him as an old man at the beginning of the show, and then in retrospect we watch his life and his relationship with his family and his friends, and as I said before, with a historical background, because there was a lot of things going on. Like, for example, in 1525, there was a homage made by a Prussian prince to the Polish king, Zygmuntus the Old, and there's a famous painting by Jan Matejko showing this event, very important in Polish history. We take pride of it. And we start our second act of the musical. I'm disclosing now. The second act of the music starts with a tableau vivant, which is in French means living picture. We make a replica of the painting on the stage. We have the figure of the king and all the Germans, the Prussians, and the Copernicus was there. He witnessed
the living replica.
Yeah,
you mean?
The living replica.
Wonderful. So you just sort of make it live, which is also a very important part of Polish culture, and the event itself, but also the painting, which became so popular, and every Polish student knows it. So you're trying to make all of those things which right now became history and are sort of sorted and put in the museums more alive, and alive put on the stage.
Yes, because Copernicus seems to us, by us, I mean the creative team, we've grown. We spent the last couple of years working on this production and on writing it and discussing it. So we got really very attached to this historical figure. We perceive him as one of our contemporaries now, and with the openness of his mind, I'm sure he could sit at this table. Also, he was a polyglot, so he spoke German, Latin, Polish, Italian, some Hebrew, and so I'm sure.
How does people find time for all of those things?
Well, they didn't have the smartphones.
They didn't have the smartphones.
Yeah. So they had time for everything. Yeah.
Might be the case.
But I'm sure Copernicus could join us here at this table right now and talk to us about his work and his life, and he would feel at home.
I'm sure about it as well, and to all of you, the viewers of Poland Daily, we very strongly encourage you, first of all, to dig into the story of Copernicus and learn about him more, also as a human being. But more important is to go and see the musical, enjoy the music, and decide what you think about it. And thank you very much for watching our show.
Sponsorem programu był PKN Orlen.